Okay, so setup we said is a smidgen further from the ball, but not much. But this is what felt half a backswing for me. Great position going back, great hinge of the wrist, nicely on plane. That felt the half 3/4 swing. This is the one you flashed. Okay, so that swing there, it's a lot more solid than there. Sometimes when you go back, you get the top of your backswing. There's okay, and then the club just keeps going. There's a bit of that sort of collapse there at the top where you lose a bit of grip pressure and support of that golf club. So the club's going a little bit longer. Interestingly, when you hit this one on the right hand side, that was absolutely flush. Arms working nicely back in front of your chest there. Club coming back down nicely over the toe line. Club is perfectly parallel. Striking that golf ball there as sweet as a nut. I mean, lovely strike on that, as perfect as you get. And then everything just sort of twists through. Ball kind of sailing down the range there, so it was just a gentle fade there. See the ball sort of taking off just between the 150 and the yellow flag and just drifting back to your target with a nice sort of free-flowing movement. Okay, you hit that one, then you hit a shank. The next 5 swings look so mechanical, manipulative, trying to hit the ball back in different directions, and then when you swing back through now, there's the arms, you can see, sort of, then it's sort of like a finish. So with your long game, you find your body sort of hangs back. With your mid-irons and your sort of your iron plate, your swing sometimes finishes there. And that to me is a swing of someone trying to smother the living daylights out of it to stop it go right. So you're trying to get the hands to work over more than they need to, but it's too late. All that work there with the hands, the golf ball's been hit with a golf club, as we can see, coming back here, coming back in, closest to the heel, with a slightly open club face, and the ball now shoots off a little bit to the right. All this work after the ball, trying to smother it, the information's been given to the golf ball. So from the top of the backswing, in terms of feeling, when you get there, that club's got to get back in front. So I say with a little bit more, if you get too close here now, and you get your arms at the top, you would get potentially off Hosley. But when you've got the room as you have it on the right hand side, as we can see, top of the backswing feeling tighter, shorter, more under control, 3/4 we said last time, and now the club's going to work back. So we want this club to swing to the left. We don't want you trying to swing it and smother it round to the left. That's the problem sometimes. In some ways you try to maybe swing it into out when you start slicing the ball to try and get the club out there somewhere, and then you smother it. Okay, we want this golf club, if I'm sort of face on down the line there for you, in to square to in. So this is how the club will travel in the golf swing. If I'm looking over the ball here now, as I swing this, my right elbow is going to stick to my rib cage there, in to square to in. So the body's just twisting and that club is working around an arc to the left. I'm not going out here. Okay, I'm not trying to manipulate it. But definitely when you hit one bad shot, it's that the frustration kicks up another notch, and the next 4 or 5 swings, as you saw, were just Gatling gun sort of spray. So if you hit unmentionable and the next one's bad, then just go back and try and play some funky shots, just try and play some low chips or high draw, just different shots. Get you out of that mindset of just trying to react from every previous shot, and just try to change the club face at whatever speed, impact, and get those sort of very manipulated golf swings that we see, because that spread there with 6 iron, that's probably 3 lost golf balls out of 4 shots there. One was just about in play, the shank was a lost ball, the cut into the tree was close, and the one over there off the coverage, isn't it? So if we can get that mindset that when a few shots go wrong, just don't try to think of everything and analyse yourself so much. Just try and, okay, how can I just, if you're hitting a high one to the right, okay, just hit that club now, hit a low chip shot to the right, just try and just play some different shots, just try and gain or get the club control back, rather than doing it flat out and, well, getting angry and more frustrated, which we know happens, and I've been there before. That's why I do sympathise, because it is annoying, and luckily someone told me years and years ago when I was on the range of pounding that living cat of golf balls to try and, in my mind, the more balls I hit, the more I just beat it out of my golf swing. But the more balls you hit, the more frustrated you are, the worse the swing gets, and the more you ingrain that worse swing, so then you're trying to unlearn that bad move is harder. So if you start seeing these sort of funky shots going here and ever, just think, okay, right, which is why now, on a golf course, I feel like I could go on a golf course with basically 1 golf club. To some extent, I wouldn't be that high off my handicap off the par, because I could still hit a 5 iron, 50 yards, 80 yards, 100 yards, 170 yards. I could hit a 7 iron. If I want to hit the ball, say a 7 iron, I could turn it down and hit a hook and gain another 20, 30. You could do all these different things, so you can start controlling the club head. And once you control that club head, you can control the golf ball. But the moment now, it's just like you get to about there somewhere, you get a bit loose and a bit floppy, and then it's like, right, I've got to be tight now because I want to be loose at the impact. But then you get all locked, and it's a very sort of guided, manipulated swing, and that tension enter impact is just lost. Your best swings, we know, when you finish, you full swing through to finish in a more fluid fashion from a much more compact, tighter three-quarter backswing. So having that sensation, the backswing is kind of there. That's the length you need to go, because you will get further than that, obviously. But the sensation of being shorter and more compact, which is definitely what you want to think on the backswing. And then swing-wise, just trying to start feeling the club face a bit more with different shots. So you're trying to visualise different shots, not just think, oh, it's going right, come on, just trying to flick the hands out or something. Okay, does that make sense then? Yeah. Kind of get the sort of process of what we're trying to get you down a path. Is you're always going to be at one end of analysing to just let it go and free fall, but get yourself a little bit more towards kind of centre rather than being so extreme in one way and in some ways beating yourself up on when you hit bad shots and then changing everything, because backswing's fine. You get to a good position at the top of the backswing, it's a bit tighter and more compact, and then from there just let the arms lie down in front as your body unwinds. Yeah, once the body clears, the arms can follow down in front.
So I'm doing that.
Yeah, exactly. That exact move there. Yeah, exactly. And that sometimes comes from that sort of pulling the chain to try and get the arms to work underneath too much, and you're stuck. So.
You think, right, that comes more from the inside.
One of the biggest myths, probably in better golfers, I mean, the three biggest myths in golf are head down, keep your left arm straight and slow it down, which are just, basically. But for good golfers, you hear people say, oh, you must swing into out. Well, into out gives you a block to the right or a shank or a snap hook. All it gives you, really. Or a big draw. You want to play the big draw the rest of your life, then.
So I'm coming more.
Yeah, you want to let the arms come back in front of you, so it's more chest to chest this way, not underneath, and trying to manipulate the hands.